I was shocked today to see the news reports that announced that the Neptunes, Pharrell and Chad, of all people, had beef. Of all the people in the world who I would have thought would be the exceptions to the rule about groups beefing about the long, if you work with somebody long enough, they're gonna split up and there's gonna be tension. You know, there was like LA Reid and Babyface. I don't think they ever had beef. They just kind of went their separate ways. You know, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis still holding it down for each other. If they had a beef, we never found out about it. I love and respect that. We shouldn't need to know about that. But when I heard the story, and I saw this, a Billboard magazine was reporting this, a Billboard News was reporting this, right? That Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo are locked in a legal dispute over the naming rights of the Neptunes. I was honestly and legitimately shocked. Genuinely so. Again, it takes a lot to shock me in this business. But when I heard this, I was struck because these two have been friends for decades. They've been making hits since the 2000s. And a lot of time now, all of a sudden, um, when y'all hear the production sound of the Neptunes, y'all just say, "Well, that's Pharrell," right? Or when y'all talk about the greatest producers, y'all say Pharrell. But I mean, when you go back to the 90s, it was the Neptunes, the Neptune sound. When you hear "Give It to Me," Jay-Z, that's the Neptunes. When you hear Holla Back Girl, if you're into pop music, Gwen Stefani, I'm a big No Doubt fan. When you hear Gwen Stefani's Holla Back Girl, that's Neptunes. When you hear Rock Your Body, Justin Timberlake, that's the Neptunes. Snoop Dogg, Drop It Like It's Hot, that's Neptunes. Nelly, Neptunes are one of my favorites that doesn't get the love that other songs do. If I Could Be Your Girl, Maya, Beanie Man and Maya, that's Neptunes. So the idea that the Neptunes is just Pharrell is not true. But some of y'all have gotten to that point where, you know what I mean, because, you know, we prisoners of the moment when we start to think it's the Neptune sound is just Pharrell, right? And Pharrell is dope and got his own thing and does his own thing, and he's brilliant and talented, but so is Chad Hugo. And we don't want to lose that. But the point is that those two are in a beef because Chad Hugo accused Pharrell Williams of fraudulently seeking control over the trademarks, according to Billboard. Uh, and there's a quote here from Chad's attorney. He said, throughout their over 30-year history, Hugo and Williams agreed to, and in fact have, divided all assets. By ignoring and excluding Chad or Hugo from any and all applications filed by applicant for the mark, the Neptunes, the applicant has committed fraud. Has committed fraud in securing the trademarks and acted in bad faith. And basically, what happened was they went to a federal tribunal last week, and Chad's attorney said that Pharrell Williams and his company tried to unilaterally, that is to say, by themselves, without any input from Chad, register trademarks for the Neptunes name. And basically, Chad is saying, "Look, you can't." You can't submit for a trademark in the name of our company, in the name of our brand, if my name ain't in it. If you're not involving me too. Now, Pharrell responded and said, again, I don't know the answer. But Pharrell's lawyer said, Pharrell is surprised by this. We have reached out on multiple occasions to share in the ownership and administration of this trademark and will continue to make that offer. The goal here was to make sure a third party doesn't get a hold of the trademark and to guarantee Chad and Pharrell share in ownership and administration. Now, that seems unlikely to me. If there's that tight, I'm not saying Pharrell's lying, I'm not saying Chad's lying. What I'm saying is that something's missing here. Because if they're saying, look, we reached out and he just never responded, if y'all are tight and y'all have built a company together and y'all are the freaking Neptunes and you tried to own and administer the name and the trademark of the Neptunes, Pharrell, and you just keep calling Chad, no one ever responds, like a lawyer just leave you on red, the voicemails ain't picking up, something's missing from this information. Either Pharrell's people aren't telling the truth and Chad hasn't been contacted, or Pharrell's people are telling the truth and Chad's people haven't responded. But if Chad's people haven't responded, the question is why, right? And Pharrell's statement, his people's statement that they made on his behalf was responded to. Here's what Chad's lawyer said. He said, if Pharrell's intent was to include Chad in the filing, he should have registered it in the name of their jointly owned company, Neptunes LLC, and not in his own name. Again, interesting point. He said this was a land grab in a long simmering dispute that has yet to be resolved. I'm going to read that again. Two parts of it. First, right? He basically said if Pharrell was trying to do something with them together, then why did he not put it in the Neptune's name and their joint company name and not in his single name? It's a hell of a question that Pharrell's going to have to answer. But here's the part that I'm going to read verbatim. He said this was a land grab in a long simmering dispute that has yet to be resolved. So Pharrell's team is saying, "Oh, it's all good. We're all fam. You know, we're all in the same place. It was just a miscommunication." And Chad's people are saying, "Nah, bruh. This ain't a miscommunication. This is a land grab is a lot. You talking about like stealing indigenous rights. You talking about what the Pilgrims did to the Native Americans. You talking about some intense stuff when you say it's just a land grab." And they say it's been a long and simmering dispute. That means that it's been going on for an extended period of time, and that it's not like, I mean, neither of them is the violent type, I don't think. So it's not going to get the guns or even blows. They're not going to fight each other, but it's simmering. This is frustrating, man. The Neptunes are one of the greatest production duos we've ever seen. In fact, the greatest production duo we've ever seen in hip hop. So they better get this thing together. You know, we got to figure this thing out. Nicole says skateboard. She said B is P, Pharrell, right? Skateboard P be tripping sometimes. Again, I don't know who's right and who's wrong, but I do know that when things don't add up, it's because some information is missing. And I'd be curious to know what that information is, because it seems to be vital.